Yeah. Hello, welcome to the stream. Yeah. And the yawning. Yeah. And the wonderful Sasami-chan with their usual quotes and changing of company slogans. One second. Yeah, just realized there's a cable dangling in a very dangerous spot. Okay. And apparently today I am fabric softener or detergent. I think it's supposed to be um, Snuggles. I can't remember the name of that particular mascot, but it's a teddy bear for a fabric softener or detergent. I think that company actually sells both. And now moving on with the show, we are continuing our work on the oh boy, Kingdom Hearts Crusaders Clubhouse, which we found out last time in the reference image I've been using. They actually changed this whole section right here. That this porch area was shrunk and moved. They left everything else the same, but they moved the porch, which is interesting. Okay, and I need to actually open up Affinity Designer as well. Okay, I'm gonna go back, check streaming settings. Okay, the stream is going fine from what I can tell, so I'm just gonna do one last thing here and post that I am currently streaming live. Okay. Twitter. Mm, excuse me. Okay, paste that. Okay, there we go. Okay, that's good. Go back to my stream control panel. Okay, D. Pull that back up, pull that back up, and click on that. Okay, now let's open up the roof. And I kind of like never have really pointed this out, even though it's on screen. But if anyone's watching live and they feel like donating during the live stream, if you donate to my coffee during the live stream, that little ticker at the bottom there that says tip me at this address will actually animate. It's kind of fun. So just thought I'd point that out since I've never pointed it out before. It's just kind of been on screen. I have it set up. I've been trying to figure out how to do it for Patreon as well, in case anyone does that. I've also been trying to find a way to display if you follow me during the stream. There's ways, but I haven't had the time to really sit down and play around with them. So there's that. Okay, so we gonna do this. Gonna open up a new view here. Pop that view out separately. And just adjust this a little bit. There we go. That over here. Do this. Zoom in. It's over here. Okay. Yeah, uh, this is yeah, this is me responding to Sami-chan. Most live streamers have animations for subscriptions and donations. They can be fun, but they can also get annoying. Yeah, that's why I currently have the audio for there's actually an audio cue that goes off when someone donates through coffee. I actually have that muted right now, so a nice little animation will go off, and that's about it. That's about it. And animation doesn't cover up anything, so I made sure of that. Like I can even like demonstrate real quick what it looks like because they have a excuse me, little thing for that. This real quick. Yep. Right there. Okay. So let's see if I can find that setting. Streaming alerts. Okay. And there's a test button. Ah, send test alert. I found it. Okay. So I heard that. I don't know if you guys heard that because there was a sound that went off. And yeah, and that alert should stay on screen for about 20 seconds. Yep, there it goes. Okay, bring the chat back up. There I go. Ah. Well, it also makes things fun. Cool. Okay, so I have that all set up right. Um, it not only pads things out, but it gives interaction between the streamer and the interaction between the streamer and the people who are watching the stream. It's kind of like the reason that streaming interactive games that allows the viewers to interact with it. It's kind of a thing because it's kind of a group interaction thing. So let's see. But now back to working on this texture. Yahoo! Like I actually have right now you can actually see likes and concurrent viewers on the stream right now. And that's basically just a screen capture of the streaming window. My management window. I could also pick some other things to display. Okay, just need to bring back up some stuff. Yeah, the animation is very tame. It's customizable in some ways. There's some ways I wish it could be a little bit more customizable, but other than that, it's a pretty nice thing. Like I said, I'm also working on figuring out some other stuff, and if I include anything, I'll probably put it in the lower corner over in this general area. I can't move my mouse out to it, but you can kind of see like in the general area in the corner beyond where my mouse is, where the coffee logo is. I should say the coffee segment is that, and actually, if I go to the coffee and I unlock its position, I think I can move it around and show you because I'm actually thinking of putting more streaming alerts over in this corner and leaving the coffee where it is, but putting the next, if I can get Patreon, putting it in that corner. Okay, and I'm gonna lock that back in place there. Okay, now let's get back to working on the texture. Just thought I'd show that and mention it and some ideas I've been playing around with. Like I even found some music mixing software because I was thinking of like downloading all of the generic music YouTube allows you to use and just having that play in the background since a lot of streamers have music. And I was like, well, I don't feel like using video game music because apparently that's some of the safest music you can actually use on YouTube. Apparently, this is why in a lot of videos I hear the Wii Shop channel music playing. I'm like, that's Nintendo's. Usually Nintendo hunts you down when you use their stuff because they are very copyright sue happy. Um, but apparently video game music, because of YouTube's algorithms and a lot of people streaming video game stuff on there, is a lot less dangerous to use than other stuff. But I'm like, I'm gonna be like the safest possible and just download all the generic music that YouTube gives us. Because some of it's okay and it's good enough to listen to in the background. Um, but I haven't like had that chance to like sit down and actually do the downloading part because I've got like everything else set up. Um, I've got where the song title can be shown. I've got a way to display the waveform, so that's neat and stuff like that. Okay. Okay. So what's the best way to make this next shape? Okay, I think I can do it with the line shape tool here. So I'm gonna pull this down a little bit there. Grab that, pull it up that way. Down a little bit, go back to the curve. Okay, so I'm gonna have a spot there, and this is going to go down a little bit. Let's pull that up. Pull this down. Okay, I think that's the general shape we're gonna use. Okay, I think that's a close enough shape. Yeah, there we go. And this one is going to be interesting because I think it's pretty much like this, except that's what's not working. I'm going to click on that, except it's going to need actually a point in the center here that's straight. Pull this down. Do that. Let's do this. And do that. And let's see. Sharp corner. That feels about right, but I think I'm going to have to turn that into a shape. So layer, convert, or expand stroke. Jiminy crickets. I also get strikes for classic music that should be public domain, but it's the cover someone owns. Yeah, copyright is just one of those things we really need to get rid of because it does not do what it was originally intended to do, which was protect the artist. Also, it kind of, if you if I really like if you really look into the history of copyright, it was actually never meant to protect an artist. It was meant to protect the people who want people to buy the artist's work, um, to protect their profits. I should say, who wants to sell the artist's work, to protect the profits of the person who wants to sell the artist's work, because um, it was meant to uh, make it so you could own something that wasn't real, physically real. I mean, the painting, the canvas it's painted on is physically real, but it's really hard to explain. But I've done a lot of research on it, and it's just like, wow, copyright just it isn't the right way to go on this because it kind of removes some of the freedoms of the artist, and it doesn't actually protect the artist from anything. It just makes it so it's easy for someone else who wants to sell the artist's work to sell the artist's work. Okay, so there's my reference shape. And it looks like we actually want this to be like that, except a lot skinnier. So actually there, and it looks like there's actually multiple points here and here. Yeah, man, there you go. Yeah, yeah, that feels about right for that. Okay, just gonna actually pull this down a little bit there. Yeah, now the whole thing just needs to be rotated. Okay, zoom out, click on this, and I'll be looking at the chat in just a moment. Okay. When YouTube first started, I was able to freely use a lot of songs and clips, but then they started hitting stuff. A lot of artists have their own YouTube channels too, but a lot of them can't be added to playlists. Hmm, I see that. Okay, so this one is actually pulled down almost to the bottom here. And zoom out. This actually needs to be thicker. Huh. Wow. Okay. Okay, that feels closer. Okay, highlight all that. Let's actually just enlarge this a little bit here. This actually is more straight, so like that. That means this actually comes down to like right about here. And this one move down to here. Yeah, that feels about right. Excuse me. Okay. So we've got that and that. Okay. Now we've got that swirly thingy here. Okay. That's going to be the easiest way to do this. Okay, I actually have this as two separate objects, which is good. That'll make this a little bit easier. So actually, this one, let's make this one 50 points thick. And let's add some points in. You know, this edge is going to be here. Yeah, something like that. And you want to do this and bring this down just a little bit more closer to here. Okay. Oh, wow. Mm. Mm. Those are some interesting thoughts. Okay. So this one actually needs to be thicker too. So let's pull this up to 50, and it looks like if I do this and pull this gamma down, so, and this one down, and okay, let's actually just do that and move this one. And looks like, come on. Hey, I am literally clicking on that little circle. Thanks. Okay. If we do this here, and it looks, click back on this, pull this down, move it up a little bit, and this down just a little bit. Excuse me. There we go. Excuse me. Like, if I want to buy the Star Wars Holiday Special and I don't want to pay Lucas for it, that's your right. He chooses not to make money off of it. But I would never sell a Pikachu plush. Hmm. Okay. So I need to move these two up. Let's rotate it slightly here. Put that up again. Okay. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Lux is a creation by me, because it is me. uh, so a plush of that would be something. There's actually places where I could like send them a layout and they will make a brush. Yeah, that's English, Richard. A plush of Lux. They would get a small cut because they spent the time to design the plushie out and actually build it. But I would also get a portion of the cut because I'm the one who sent in the basic design for it. Um, but I get what you mean. Like I have the rights to my thing, and Hasbro has the rights to Pinkie Pie. Though technically, if you wanted to get really complicated into the weeds about it, the artist who originally designed the concept at Hasbro technically has the rights to that character. Um, but because they did it on Hasbro's time, Hasbro owns the rights to the character. So that's how that works. Okay. So I got the line like that. I got that. Okay. Next is this kind of triangle line. That's a... that one's going to have to be a shape. So let's go back to here. Can expand stroke. Go in. I'm going to leave that the way it is. But this here, I need to leave that. Convert these to sharp. Going to add point there and a there. Both of those should be soft. Okay, move this over. I think this corner can be handled by 1 point. It looks like it's going to be a curve like that. Same with that. Okay. This is going to be moved here and like this for that curve. And highlight those, turn on this transform, grab this and move it up here. And rotate. Okay, scale it in. Turn that off. Okay, so that. Let's see. Have that go like that. this actually needs to be moved back up this way a little bit and then out. Okay, back to the chat room. Interesting. Thank you for dropping that little bit of information, Sazami-chan. Okay. That does that. Grab this. I think there's actually another point here. Bring this out this way. Yeah, that's better. Need to do this though. Okay, yep, that's pretty much the shape we're going for. Though I think this side's stubbier, so it's more like right here. It's just a little bit straighter, so yeah. There we go. Do this, grab it by here, move this over. Okay. You keep getting online invites to games you don't own. As in, like, friends are inviting you to play, or something other than that. Okay. Grab this and put this down here. Let's see. Okay, it's about here. Yep, that's about the right height, but I'm going to stretch that up a little bit here. Let's see. Excuse me. Grab that, turn on that, and I'm going to move this to about here. And there we go. That feels about right. Whoop. Okay. That's probably it. Yeah, they probably just hit the send all button. But there are some games where I don't know how many of them are on the PC, but there are some games where you can send an invite to a friend and it basically contains a temporary free copy of the game, as it were, as like a small module, but basically just enough to do the multiplayer, and that's about it. It's basically a marketing tactic to make it so that, oh, I like this part of this game, I will go and buy it, kind of thing. But it also allows you to play with your friends, so that's a nice thing. Okay, so this is going to be... Whoop! That's not what I wanted. That's what I wanted. Okay, so it's about here. Yeah, it's about there. And this line's gonna be easy, so I'll just, yep. Hello, I just want to grab the little marker here. Well, I guess the easiest thing to do is just turn that on and grab it and move it over. This one's actually easy. I just need to put a spot right there and grab the corners and pull it down. Level that out a little bit there. Scale it up some here. Pull the line down. Okay. Level that out just a tiny bit. Pull that through the line. Actually, let's undo that. And actually move this up. There we go. Okay. Now, there's a yawn. And a stretch. Gonna hit save on that. Then export. Save. And go to Blender. Reload the texture. And this is basically going to be a lot of tweaking. Okay. Excuse me. Also, it looks like the camera. Oops. Yeah. Camera could be rotated a little bit more to get more of the roof. So, see, I don't think that's, yeah, that's not controlling the camera. So I'm going to click on the camera so it's highlighted and I can find it easier in the side menu here. Is then, okay. Camera anchor to, so that would be this object. Okay, yep, found it. And now we can turn on the visual rotation. Okay, that didn't do what I was expecting it to do. Because I know this. Oop. Well, that's not supposed to happen. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, it's just it's just tracking it. It's not actually, because sometimes I set up camera rigs where I can rotate this central object that the camera is actually focused on, like that guy, and that will rotate the entire rig. But apparently, I just told the camera to look at that object wherever that object happens to be. So whatever its rotation is, it doesn't care. So I'm going to need to go to a different view. So is it full view? Okay. So I can grab the camera. And it's not restrained by anything. Okay. Let's see. That's going to be the easiest way. I think the easiest way to... Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I can do that. So I'm going to go back to... Is it modeling or textures? Shading? Shading, it was shading. Okay, so I can highlight this and that. Okay, yeah, it rotates it around the center there, which is what I expected. So what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to click on the camera, the anchor, put the cursor on that. Then I can click back on the camera and set the rotation of the camera to be around the 3D cursor. So now I can rotate around the point I need it to be. Okay, so undo that. Okay, now we grab this. Zoom out a little bit here. Actually undo the rotation. I wonder why undo is so slow. Okay, that's interesting there. What happens when I rotate this? Okay, so that's the rotation. Okay. So this is the one we actually want to rotate here. Okay, but that's not getting me anywhere, probably because of the targeting. Okay. Check, yeah, see what happens when I put that at 0. Nothing. Okay. Which is what I expected. Okay. That's interesting there. Okay. Let's undo that. Hmm. Hmm. I think I'm just gonna have to build the mechanism I usually do for camera setups. Okay, so let's see see here. We can actually get rid of that. So I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this back to bounding box. Actually, let's turn off this. Go back over to modeling here. Excuse me. Zoom out. And let's focus on just the camera. Okay, now. Do this, and let's set all of these coordinates to 0. Get that side menu. Okay. Cursor to selected. View. Center view to cursor. Rinse and repeat here. Okay. And D. Now, where did that camera end up? Okay, let's go to shading. Outside camera, that's what it's called. Okay. There we are. Okay, so I like both of those. Okay, so now we click on the empty, selected to cursor. There we go. Let's make sure its rotation and everything is zeroed out. Okay, now I believe let's see. I think it's that one child of that. Now, yeah, that's what we want. Okay, now we can there we go. Okay, let's set back to 0. So we now know which axis we want to work with. So now I'm going to zoom out. and move it out really far just so we're all set and everything. And now we return everything to normal. Okay. And now we rotate this till we get to where we want. Okay. And now we move this where we would like. Okay, and it sounds like the leaf blowers are getting nearby. Okay. Here. And let's change this to local, because that allows us to rotate on its axis instead of the global axis, which is basically the global axis is the red line would be this way, blue line would be that way, and green would be this way. But because it's now the local axis, the red's this way, blue's that way. So it makes it so it rotates with this being straight. Okay. So why don't we actually undo that? And since I want it to be precise, I think, yep. Okay. There we go. Okay, that's the location. We want the rotation. Okay, that's that way, which is what we want. And we also want this one. Okay, I'm actually going to go and open up another reference image after I pull this back up, because I realize the reference image right now only exists inside of this right here, because I dragged it directly from the website into this program instead of actually saving it as a separate file. Okay, let's see here. Just out of curiosity, what happens when if I convert that to curves? Anything interesting? Okay, so that's what happens if I convert it to curves. I can freely change the shape to like mask off areas I don't want. Okay, that's good to know, but that's not what I need. There we go. So let's go with the easiest way to export this layer. Can I do that like from the layer menu here? Okay. Layer effects, fill mode, register to mask, register size, expand stroke, convert to curves, find layer in panel. I don't see any way to do that except for, let's go with the export persona here. Okay, and can I export just this one layer? Looks possible. So where is the button I hit to export it now? Because I know slices. Okay. Okay, there's the button I was looking for. Let's see if I actually get anything out of this, because it's technically off of the image, so it may not work. I may have to move it around a little bit, but we'll give it a shot, see what happens. Okay, D. Run. Okay, D. Okay, I am not seeing anything, but that's maybe because I'm looking in the wrong place. So let's open up my search everywhere box and start typing in the name it was saved as. Ah, found it, and it is black, like I had a feeling it would be. So, you move this over here, and let's move this actually into the visible area temporarily, go back to the export here. Actually, delete that, go back to layers and click on it again. Create slice, back to here, export. Okay. It is now properly exported. Go back to here, move this back outside. Okay, hit save. And let's go back to Blender. Excuse me. Move this out of the way. Okay. And there we go. We now have a new reference in here so I can get the angle of the tree more accurate. Okay. Let's make this just a flat 100. And make this 56. And now compare the two. This is probably gonna need to be angled more like that, and oh boy. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. That feels about right. Okay. Close this out of the way here. Let's go back to shading. Let everything load in. Hit save. Okay. Yeah, that feels about right for the angle of the camera. Okay, let's see what it looks like in fully rendered mode. Okay. It's interesting how I'm getting the jaggies and the shadows right now. Because usually when I look through the camera, these become a whole lot smoother. Mm. Excuse me. So maybe it's a... I bet you it's because of the distance from there that the camera is. I bet you if I move the camera closer... Yep, as I move the camera closer, the shadows become more detailed. Zoom. I gotta hit the corner. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna set this back to 20. And I'm gonna do some quick line modifications and then probably wrap up the stream there since it's just past noon now. Okay. let's go and do that. But first, I'm going to make sure Blender's saved. And let's go back over to here. Zoom in on the roof here. Since the roof pattern is actually the same on both, I'm going to use this one since it's slightly higher quality. Okay. Okay, let's go back into Blender real quick here. Get back to roof. Okay, move this over a little bit so I can see the layers. Okay. Okay, go with that one. Okay. Okay, we got those. Those are the ones I want. Now. Now. Okay. That one. Okay, got those. So it looks like this is actually more squat and two that way. Turn that off. Oop. Why is it suddenly so hard to grab these dots? Okay, that's over here more. It's more like that. This one's longer. Let's cross like that. Let's save. Export. Go back over to Blender. Reload. Okay, that's closer. Still needs to be more squat and more wider. But we've got more stuff set up. We've got the lines at the bottom more towards their shapes. And it's basically just going to be a lot of poking and prodding at this point to get the lines and everything to be closer to the way the texture actually looks in the show. So I think that's where I'm going to call it for today. Excuse me. I think I'm pretty satisfied with where we are. There's just going to be, it's basically going to be a lot of tweaking for the roof, and once the roof's tweaked, we can move on to actually building the porch area. Adding in the top railing on this right hand side. This railing is going to be later once I actually have the tree in place. Also, what's kind of interesting is something else I just noticed, like, I don't think there's a square platform between this set of steps and this set of steps. I think this set of steps is directly attached to the side of the steps here. So that's kind of interesting. I wonder if this is a rope swing that you like grab and swing off of the walkway. That's kind of interesting. Well, gonna wrap things up for today. Thank you all for stopping by, whether it's on video on demand or during the live stream. Thank you always for stopping by, Sasami-Jan. Give me a second here. If you want to help support the channel, watching this video and watching other videos on our channel helps a lot. Subscribing, liking, commenting, and ringing the bell are also other ways you can help. But if you would like to donate to the channel in some way, like through money, you can use two services we currently support, which are Patreon and Coffee. Coffee is more of a one-time donation thing right now. Also, you can purchase items from the digital store on there, higher quality versions of some of my older art that's really high quality and is released on a higher resolution on there than has been released to the public before. There's some backgrounds on there that are tiled, so they will repeat forever if you set up them on your computer or cell phone for tiled mode. There's, like I said, it's a one-time donation thing. They will be setting up a tiered system at some point where it's more of a Patreon-like style. But for right now, it's a one-time payment thing. But if you want to do more of a Patreon style and get art and updates on this project about 3 weeks early, I think it is right now, you can go to my Patreon, and everyone from a $1 level to a $5 level currently has access to that. So thank you once again for stopping by. Thank you for viewing my content. Thank you for commenting, liking, sharing, all the usual stuff. I hope you have a good time wherever you are, and I hope you have, hope you have a good time wherever you are, and I will see you all next time. Bye! Ugh, ends it on a burp. Excuse me.